Now, it's understandable that a lot of you guys have selected Awakened HILDE as the recent Selector choices in Global. Now, I know a lot of you guys like a waifu with no pants. However, I am not here for waifu discussion. I am here for meta discussion. And perhaps you guys might have not heard of this, but Stormbringer Awakened Jake is already present in C server. So I'm going to give you guys a much more detailed thorough comparison between these two Awakened defenders. Hopefully, you don't over-invest in your Awakened HILDE. Now let's jump into it. Now, first things first, let's help you guys understand Awakened Jake's skills. I think a lot of C players couldn't understand how come he is so strong compared to Awakened HILDE. Notably, a lot of players couldn't understand where is his tankiness coming from. Now let's have a look at stats. Awakened HILDE stats, you can see 70,000 HP, 3.8k attack, 3,000 defense, about the rest is about the crit. So I'm just gonna screenshot this and hopefully we'll compare this neck in neck with Awakened Jake's stats. Now, Awakened HILDE on the left, Awakened Jake on the right. Notice Awakened Jake has less HP. Awakened Jake has slightly more attack, 4,700. Awakened HILDE has 3,800. Now, Awakened HILDE has way more defense, 3,000 defense. Very, very high. Awakened Jake, 1.4 thousand. Alright, the rest doesn't matter. So we are comparing their tankiness all together. What is this? Like, Awakened HILDE almost have more than double Awakened Jake's defense. Now, Awakened Jake do have slightly more attack. Why is Awakened HILDE losing to Awakened Jake in terms of tankiness? With that, we need to understand Awakened Jake's skills better. Alright, just jump straight into the passive skill. Now notice, he's gonna have this skill called a Stasis Field for 6 seconds. So this will decrease max attack by 30% and their HP by 3% per second. So non-cancelable, bosses excluded. After every third basic attack, he inflicts AoE damage on mech units, stuns them for 2 seconds, and creates another stasis field. Now notice at his passive right here, he has anti-mech damage resistance 40%. Now this tremendously give him so much stats. It's just straight up broken. I don't know, I think they overtuned this part. I am very sure it's not intended to be this way. Alright, Stasis Field grants a barrier by 15% of max HP. Stasis Field applies half the effect to units other than mech. So let me explain what the Stasis Field does. Stasis Field, number 1, gives him barrier 15% of max HP. Number 2, decrease max units attack by 30%. Number 3, decrease their HP by 3% per second. Number 4, this thing cannot be cancelled, which is insane. You cannot remove Stasis Field whatsoever. Number 5, it also stuns mech units. Now, if you are fighting enemies that are not mechs, you still debuff them. This debuff is crazy. Mech units 30%, but remember, if it's not mech, the effect cancelled by half. So that means 15% debuff of decreasing everybody's attack in the area, and your HP still decrease 1.5% per second. Now this is insane. This is probably his strongest skill. Let me explain to you how insane this is. We're gonna jump into the practice just to showcase to you guys. I'm going to summon some ground, some air. Notice they have their attack minus 15%, HP recovery minus 1.5%. That's because these are not mechs, these are COs, so effects are half. So one thing that you need to know, every 4 attacks, every 3 basic attack, the 4th one, he will recast his barrier. So look at this, right? He's going to hit the enemy 4 times. Special skill, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, shield, 1, 2, 3, 4, shield again. So he gets this constant shield regeneration every few seconds, which is insane because this skill is on the passive skill. So he's gonna get the 15% barrier every 4 attacks, every third basic attack basically. So the fourth one, he will get this barrier of 15% of max HP. So some players like to use attack speed on their Jake. I personally prefer HP still because the shield is off your max HP, right? So it's better to have bigger shield than to have a few smaller shields where you attack faster. So again, this is on the passive skill, this is not on the special skill. Keep in mind, this shield can be removed by Awaken Iobin. Yes, the shield itself is not cancelable, but the non-cancelable thing is the stasis field. Now that is, again, what makes him tanky, because he doesn't need to have high defense like Awaken Hilde. He has the ability to already straight up reduce everybody's attack by 15% if they're not max. And also, he has this barrier that resets every few attacks. Now the special skill, nothing crazy, right? Basically, the caster himself is immune to hit stun from special or lower skills. Attack speed is increased. So it increases his attack speed, therefore giving him faster regeneration of barrier. So he can also stun mech for 5 seconds. Alright, that's crazy. And the ultimate skill, this one makes him really strong in a lot of situations, especially in PvP. Whenever he casts the ultimate skill, it creates one more stasis field, and also whoever that's in the range will get silence and cannot receive buffs for 8 seconds. Of course, it doesn't include boss, and also adds attack speed minus 25% to the debuff, which is crazy. Now, this gives Awakened Jake a lot of headroom to be really broken in a lot of stages in the endgame contents. Endgame contents in this game consists of 3 main stages. We have the raids, if you guys have been doing it, which is either Inhibitor 150 or Britra 150. We also has Dive 48, 49, 50. Global don't have this yet. And we also have these particular challenge stages. And out of these 3, the hardest one by far, in my humble opinion, is Steely Ruins. And guess what? All of this stage, they all have max. This makes Awakened Jake looks just way better in comparison compared to Awakened Hilde. Now, that doesn't mean that Awakened Hilde is useless, of course. Why am I making this video? Why am I talking about this? Because a lot of you guys might have selected Awakened Hilde in your selector. And if you do, something that you want to keep in mind is 110 using Fusion Core. And I don't want you guys to 110 Awakened Hilde, making this mistake later on. Now, you can see this is my C server account. Awakened Hilde is my only Awaken that I didn't use any Fusion Cores yet, alongside with Maestra because I just got her. Because I don't see the need to 110 her. I think she's a waste to 110 in my humble opinion. Again, that depends on where you are at in the game right now. If you have been playing on global server, you would know that this thing right now, this thing is very costly. Alright, so you need to 110 a bunch of units later on. Rearm is coming for global server end of this year, somewhere in December. And to rearm certain units like Xiaolin ETC or Esterosa, whoever that is coming, you're gonna need to 110 them. So I don't want you guys to waste Fusion Core knowing that Awakened Hilde falls off later on. Now right now on C server, we're starting to slowly shift towards the Britra raids. Alright, Inhibitor raids is the old raids. So you can see there's still a bunch of Inhibitor raids going on right now. So let me just show you guys, I'm just gonna waste a little bit of info. I'm gonna show you guys one Inhibitor raid throughout. So we're just gonna use this particular strategy right here. Alright, I will show you, this is a 150 Inhibitor. Alright, I want you guys to keep in mind. In my humble opinion, Inhibitor is way harder than Britra. At least that was the previous one. I'm not sure if now it's much more balanced, but you can see Awakened Jake he surprisingly can tank this stage pretty well. Alright, he's tanking this stage, he's hitting the boss. You can see half HP right now. The ability of him creating the barrier. Now, if you guys are not aware, this particular boss, Inhibitor, I strongly believe this boss is a mech. Like I mentioned, that makes him really strong. And he's just the obvious choice for a lot of players to go to. The 40% mech damage resistance is straight up built into his passive, right? Alongside with a lot of other things. Now, the purpose of me talking and showcasing this Inhibitor 150 is not to showcase the damage. I'm not here to showcase you guys the damage. I'm just here to showcase how tanky Awakened Jake is now, about 3 seconds before everything happens. So again, Inhibitor 150, I do think this is pretty much near the end game content. And now why am I stressing out this so much? Why am I trying to talk about, oh, Awakened Jake can tank Inhibitor 150? So you guys are assuming I have insane gears going on right now. Let me show you my gears. Not gonna edit this part out. I'm gonna click on Awakened Jake, boom. Guess what? He doesn't have a single gear. I don't have a gutter rat equipment, I have nothing. Now how is this allowed? Literally in the game. I'm gonna show you guys one more stage. One of the hardest PVE stage in the game right now. Alright, so a lot of you guys are gonna get this in global. D1-4, alright? So look, all of these are max, but this is one of the hardest endgame stage in the game. Again, this is not trying to tell you guys that Awakened HILDE is no longer worth building. If you enjoy her playstyle, sure, go for it. But I'm gonna let you guys know of this information. It's insane that in the endgame contents, Awakened Jake can pretty much carry you without any gears. Like, it's insane! I am mind blown by the capability of this Awakened unit. He's not dying. He should die right now. How is... This is the hardest stage in C server right now, I can pretty much say, alongside with the dive. He literally has no gears. He has no gears going into this. I'm just relying on his pure tankiness. That 40% anti-mag damage resistance, it gives him so much. I feel like, again, I do think they overtuned him. I think he's a little bit too strong. And I feel really scared making this video right now because, again, they might nerf him after this. And then you guys are gonna blame me for it. So yeah, I'm not gonna show the entire thing, but pretty much you guys get my point. Alright, so no gears Awakened Jake is actually a thing in some of these insane endgame contents. So yeah, that pretty much sums up what I want to say in this video. If you guys pick Awakened HILDE from the Selector, I leave it up to you. If you guys want to 110 her, just keep in mind your fusion core might go to waste because Awakened Jake straight up replace all the PvE contents that Awakened HILDE can do. Awakened Jake is just going to be a better choice. Now whether or not you'll be pulling for Awakened Jake in the future, that's up to you, right? This information is out there. You guys decide what you want to do. Personally, I don't think Awakened HILDE is worth the fusion cores anymore. Going to 110 is just very expensive. 75 fusion cores, you should just save that for other Awakened characters or maybe just on other characters that will get re-armed in the future. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.